Hello everyone, welcome back to Atomic Cards. It's Lee here. Oh my jeez.
And me, Tom. Hi.
It's all a bit close. And
me, Lian.
Hi, Lian.
Go for it.
So it's we just finished day one of Into the West.
Yeah.
We are quite close.
We are very close.
You are radiating heat. We just finished day one of Into the West. It's for those who don't know, it's 450 point middle stretch about game in Cardiff. There's 7 games altogether. We've just played 4, so it's 6 hours of mid-earth goodness.
Long day.
Yeah, I'm sleepy. Don't like you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've got like
Why are we
between
doing
us. It's for fun. Between us, we've got a few different like experiences, I guess, with thingies. So like, Lian, how many mid-earth tournaments have you been to in your life?
In my life,
Yeah.
probably 2 before this one. So yeah, not many to be fair.
No. Nice.
Yeah, so this is probably one of my first sort of, I suppose, more sort of major tournaments really.
Yeah.
A lot of my stuff has been sort of small local tournaments. So
Any
yeah.
big GBHL 100-point events before?
Never.
Any
Yeah.
GBHL events before?
No.
Fantastic.
No. So I am literally new to this.
So for those that don't know, the GBHL is the British Hobbit League, and it's where it's our like ranking system for all the events and things. So there's the 100-point events and the 80-point events. And 100 points are like the big super majors, which is where like everyone goes and you get all the best players and stuff. That's what this is. And the 80-point ones are like small local ones. So yeah, they're not worth as much for winning them, but there's normally less people, so it's quite good to like get into the game. Lee, how many events have you been to in your life?
This is my second one.
It's your second one? And have they both been massive 100 pointers?
No, the first one was 80.
Was it?
Lair was 80, I think.
Okay, I thought it was 100.
Oh, maybe it was 100 then.
It was 100.
Okay, fine, it was 100.
Yeah,
So it's my
that-
second 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've both been big and beefy.
Yeah, you've not been to any little ones. That's what I
No,
was gonna say.
this is the biggest out of the two. This was 60, 50 I think they
50
got in a
people.
day.
something like that, yeah.
And 30 the last time. So yeah, it's only my second one.
Yeah. This is, I've been to a few, couple of 100 pointers, couple of 80 pointers, couple of things. We put a video up before with our list and stuff, so hopefully everyone's had a chance to check it out. Lian wasn't in that, so
No,
Lian,
I
what are
wasn't,
you running quickly?
So I brought 2 armies with me because you could bring good and evil, or you could bring one or the other. So my good army, I've got Theoden's Legendary Legion. So I've got Theoden, Dernhelm, and just a regular captain of Rohan mounted. So everything's mounted anyway, with heavy armor and shield. And then we've got about 7 Roar Guard, and then 2 Riders of Rohan and a Banner Bearer, which is also Rohan Roar Guard.
No
And-
Outriders.
No,
Scroll.
what? In Theoden's Legendary Legion.
Yeah.
I don't know if
They
they're
can't
allowed in
have
there.
them.
No,
you're
you're
not
not
allowed
allowed them.
That's why it's the least
That's
good Rohan
why.
weapon, yeah.
That's why he can't have Outriders, sadly. Theodred's Guard, I'd be fine if I was doing that. And then for my evil force, I brought Ugluk Scouts. So basically, just plenty of Urukai Scouts. I've got Ugluk, Malher, a Banner Bearer, 4 Bowmen, and then I've got Grishnak with Shield because he's got to be Defense 6, which is the highest defense in the whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
he is
would
the
be,
highest
yeah.
defense in the whole force.
That's funny.
And then just 7 Spear Orcs with Shield, and 4 regular Orcs with Shield.
Nice.
Cool. So on to the games then. We'll try and go through these quickly because there's 3 of us.
It's
and we have to, like, bam, 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 bam.
Rapid.
So first scenario was Clash by Moonlight.
Yeah.
I was playing against Callum Edens. He's got a channel, Hedge Knight Wargaming. I'll try and put a thing there somewhere for it if you want to go check it out. He's using Helm's Guard Legendary Legion, conveniently the same thing that won the last event in Cardiff.
Not that he copied or anything. He changed one model, apparently.
But feel free to give a little bit of needle fat. Anyway, Clash by Moonlight, I've got all these Corsairs and throw weapons and stuff, and I was like, that's cool, I'll just chill out here. And then he was like, that's cool, I'll chill out behind these buildings. And I was like, let's not do this is boring. So we came towards each other, and then Helm killed me all. So that was fun. Helm Hammerhand smashed me. I lost by 10-1 because Helm Hammerhand is a beast.
Yeah, he does things, doesn't he?
Speed. Lee, go.
Go Lian next.
Lian, go.
Okay, so Clash by Moonlight,
I don't
I
remember.
was playing Craig Walker, and he had 2 armies, and he had the Balrog with goblins, and then he had a Gondor force. I literally said to him at the start of the game, I just didn't want to play as Balrog, so as long as I won the roll off, I was fine with that because that would be a win for me.
That was fun. I watched that roll off.
I won the roll off, so I got to play against his Gondor force, which was Boromir and Syrian, and he had Guards of the Fountain Court, which were pretty much all defense 7 because all had shields. Rangers, he had a bolt thrower, and he had some basic warriors just to finish the list off. Kyrian.
I was trying to work out who the Syrian was that you were playing with.
Oh right, yeah.
I was like, that's a different area of the world to Gondor. Kyrian, yeah.
Kyrian.
All the curly cuz in Middle Earth.
Cuz.
Yes.
Kyrian.
Kyrian.
Yeah, I was real confused, man. I was like, who is Syrian? I thought you said like Boromir Syrian. I was like, is Boromir from Syria? That's yeah.
Is he? I don't know.
Have you remembered yet?
I've remembered now.
Okay. Good.
So it was they had a couple people drop out.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of like repairings going on. So I had the ringer, so somebody who was just coming to make it even numbers. He didn't turn up because he was on nights or something. So Matt, the organizer, played me and just like grabbed some models from a case, and it was like it ended up being like Saruman on horse with Grima, and then like the 2 of the Dunling heroes,
Gorulf and the other one.
I think
so. You've
so.
got Iron Skin
and then like 2, and then like 2 normal lads. So it was like 6 models or something daft. And I thought, oh, this is fine. And then Saruman is actually kind of annoying in Clash by Moonlight.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go in, Sorcerer's Blast things, and just go back out again.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. But yeah, it was not very, it was just like, yeah, we'll just chuck some dice together and just play the game out. So I think I won that 8-3 or 10-3, I think, or 10-3.
Nice.
It's actually quite hard to get max points in that against that list because he had all heroes.
Yeah.
So he was always going to have 1 left alive.
Yeah.
So that was funny. But yeah.
Cool. So next scenario was Reconnoiter, or Reconnoiter, or Recon, or
Recon. I always say Recon.
Reconnoiter.
Reconnoiter. So I was playing against a nice chap called Christian. He had Khazad-dûm dwarfs. Had a King's Champion and Captain, 7 dwarf bows, and a bunch of like mix of Khazad-guard and Iron Guard, and yeah, it's an interesting list. But it's on Recon, and he's got dwarfs, and I've got crossbows, and the crossbows were firing for that game. Because he's got so many bows, they would have had 6. So I just shot them, winning them with 5s, and that's like a third of his list was bows. So killed them. Then I moved on to the Iron Guard. Life was good. I ended up getting all my models off that I needed to, so I won that one 9-3.
Nice.
He did kill Dalamir in combat. He heroic combated into him, and then I whiffed the strike roll, and he got 3 wands on his fate rolls, so he died. Which felt
Nice.
real bad.
Yeah.
3 ones is rough.
3 ones is always rough. But yeah, that was my game against Christian. Basically, just shotgun, crossbows, murdered dwarfs. Fun. Go.
Me. So at that time I was against Kand. Kand. So we had all mounted horse archer lads. So we had Chieftain on a chariot, and then I think it's a king on chariot, and then just a normal chariot. I killed like 8 models like turn 1 to shooting. Like I killed a lot, but a lot of them just got dismounted, which I was fine with at the beginning because it's recon, right? You want to get
you want to make them slow.
So I'm slowing down, and then I got like one of the chieftains onto like 1 wound left, and then shooting did nothing after that because I kind of stayed still. I had 1 warband in the middle and 2 on the side to like try and kill a few. My game plan was, because he had about 10 horses, my game plan was just kill the horses and then just march with my captains up, and then you can only get like 3 chariots left. So right, you're gonna kill me, but I can get more guys off. Then the chariots came in, and they did horrible things to my Dale. And then we bumped into Girion with his king, and it was the inevitable heroic strike off. Like 9 lads around his king. I rolled a 1 for my strike, and he rolled a 2, so he beat me by 1, and then Girion died, and that was it. But I still had a chance. But then on the right flank, I had to heroic combat into his chieftain on a horse, and I could like move off, and I've like killed his flank. But he called heroic combat as well and won the roll off. So he did his first and went into my captain, which shut off my heroic combat, which completely changed that flank because it was very solidly mine. But then that completely changed it. So if one of those things would have gone for me, I probably would have won the game. But because they both went against me, I lost that pretty handily in the end. I think it was 10-1 or something. I think.
Oof.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was rough. Yes, so mine I was playing against Nathan, and he only had an evil army, but he had, it was quite interesting, I suppose. He has the Great Beast of Gorgoroth, which I've never played against in my life, which was an interesting one. It's almost like a mini Mummak. A Troll Chieftain, Mouth of Sauron mounted, and about 10 Morannon Orcs, and that was the entire list. It started off okay, but Theoden didn't turn up for 2 turns, whilst the rest of the army had already turned up. So I was trying to deal with the Great Beast. At the same time, the guys on top were literally firing down into my guys, and I think I lost 2 Rohan Royal Guard before Theoden turned up. Then Theoden turned up and they shot at Theoden and wounded the horse. So went to make my fate save with it, rolled a 1. So before Theoden even gets into combat, he's potentially losing the horse. I had to spend all 3 of his might points to make it a 4 so that he passed the fate save on the horse so he didn't lose it. So then basically meant that Theoden was kind of useless for the rest of the game, other than for his ability to do death. In the meantime, Dernhelm though charged into the back end of the Great Beast of Gorgoroth. The first time I think I've ever used heroic strength in a game, and promptly won the fight 1-on-1 with the Gorgoroth Beast, and did 3 wounds to it because of heroic strength.
Mental.
So did that, and then the Great Beast then promptly failed its courage test because it took a wound, and then trampled back towards the Morannons, which meant then there was an entire turn where the Orc warriors on top couldn't shoot, so that gave me some time, and then he's moved the chieftain around the far side, so I just basically moved away from him and sent everyone away from him and charged into the Morannons and the Great Beast. Dernhelm eventually killing the Great Beast by herself.
That's mental.
Just basically went in and just took it out. And I think he lost about 4 guys because the Orcs take falling damage when the Great Beast dies. And it's about 2 or 3, and he was rolling 3 strength 3 hits on these guys. So mostly about 4 of them died, and the rest sort of landed.
I think you tend to lose about half of them when the Great Beast dies.
Yeah.
It's not like the moment we've used almost all of them, but the Great Beast you lose about half. So.
Yeah, and then because they're only defense 4 Orcs, and they were prone as soon as they land, so they can't do anything for a turn.
No.
And then my guys just promptly charged into them and took them out. Killed pretty much all the Morannons. I think there was a few left, and I'd started to get my 2 riders Rohan with bows down the right hand flank to try and get them off the board, and I needed 1 more turn for them to get off the board to get the points for that as well. But sadly, and I say sadly, I got him to 25%, so the game ended.
Yeah.
So I won, but I only won 3-0, whereas
it could have been a lot more.
Could have been more if I'd have got that 1 more turn, because I would have had 1 model off,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't have had any.
Yeah.
Cool.
Valid.
Next scenario, to the death. It's game
To the
3.
death.
To the death. I was playing Curtis. Curtis is probably watching this video. Hi, Curtis. Hi. We've played a couple of times.
Bit of a love affair.
I like him. He's all right. You know, he's nice. He's all right. So he's got Durin and Iron Guard and just dwarfs. It's to the death. So I'm going right. I'm using my Corsairs again. It's 3rd game in a row. Corsairs. Deployed them right at the back. Basically, made him march at me. Shot at him. Shot at him. Shot at him. Shot him. Nothing died. It was really irritating. And then
Dwarfs,
he
and
got
it's
there, and I kind of like
forever.
pivoted around so I could get my throwing weapons in, and then tried to like trap him against the corner. And in the end, it came down to he 25% of me. He was 1 dude away from being 25%ed. There was nothing left on the table. It was brutal. But yeah, he won. Because he's got a banner left alive. So he had a banner. So
Yeah.
He had that left alive.
Yeah.
And like we're both broken, but he got to 25 and onto the death. That counts. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was. Yeah, I didn't write down the exact scores, but it was like 9-3 or something. It was pretty like. It's one of those ones where it felt really close, but then you look at what, like the scores, and you're like that's actually a big difference.
I feel like happens a lot into the death.
Yeah.
It feels closer than actually you look at the scores. It's like, oh yeah, it's quite one-sided.
He killed more things in shooting with 2 dwarf bows than I killed with 10 crossbows.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Especially considering strength 4. So
Yeah, 6s. Yeah,
that's rough.
Well, 5's on his iron guard. So
True.
I should try getting out as well.
True, yeah.
And I was shooting into his own dwarf warrior, like dwarf bows as well.
Yeah.
But happens, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Dice game.
yeah, dice does it
Dice
too.
game. We need to pray to the dice gods better next time.
Yeah.
Lee, how did your?
Yeah, so I've forgotten the name again. I'm a terrible human being. It was he came with his partner, and they both were like very new to the game, and this was his first event, and he was like into the frying pan. Let's just learn how to play the game.
It's one of my faves.
So I think game one he had like the top ranked person in the event, so it was quite rough, ready for him. But so he had Rohan, and it wasn't so much a game, it was more like a teaching thing.
Yeah.
Because he was so new, and it's like, right, let's just have fun. Let's walk through what happens when. Like he didn't know any rules for Dale or anything like that, or even Rohan. Like he wasn't quite clued up on it all. So yeah, it's just a teaching game. The game was actually really close, but points wise, again, it ended 12-1 to me, which seems really one sided, but it actually wasn't.
Yeah.
Because Airmail was starting to really like hurt things.
That happens a lot into the death, you know.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, because it had Airmail, Fairden, and Durnhelm, and then just and then just riders. But he had no banner and things. But yeah, I mean, strength 3 bow shots hitting on 3s takes out a lot of horses. Dehorsed Fairden, and then Durnhelm lost hers, and then yeah, it was pretty much game over at that point. But the important thing is he learned from his first game. So his first game, he just charged everything down the middle. And then in my game, he like split them into 2, which you kind of want them all together with Fairden, right? But at the same time, like he split them in 2, so I had to like draw fire and move around to get shots. He really used terrain well, so he played really well. So he learned from his first game, but yeah, just
He's still sending a cavalry charge.
into a load of bows.
We've all seen the films. We all know how that happens.
And then when Fairden was gone, they're all fight free.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the issue.
That's the
no
fight
bonuses of the +1.
Yeah. And that was it.
You want to go?
So mine was against, I believe his name was Jamie, with the 3 Ents.
Yeah, I think
so you had Treebeard, you had Quick Beam, and a Standard Ent.
Mm.
It kind of started okay. Didn't do a huge amount of damage with his throwing rocks, because he just stood still in the middle for a while and just threw giant rocks at me. But in the end, sort of managed to get my characters in, and managed to kill off Quick Beam and the Ent. And we'd both spent all of our might during that time, so no might left on the board. And then it got to the point where I still had Ugluk left, I still had Grishnak left, Malho was dead. I'd lost quite a chunk of my force, but it got to the point where I could then charge in again. But I was broken, I'd literally broken the turn before. So taking Tess, he charged in with Treebeard into Ugluk, which meant Ugluk couldn't do a stand fast.
Right.
And promptly about 75% of what was left on the board failed its courage test and fled the battlefield.
Yeah, it feels bad, doesn't it?
I mean, Grishnak left, he just ran away.
He just ran away.
Yeah, the banner bearer left as well, and that was one of the conditions of the scenario.
Yeah,
so I lost that one as well.
That'd have been 2 VPs because he didn't have a banner.
Yeah, he didn't have a banner. So if he'd have stayed on the board, that would have been 2 VPs. So it was massive for me, because that was where I could claw back the difference. And then probably then the game ended, and it felt quite deflating, because the game had been really good, quite close, even though he'd had his ups and I'd had my ups throughout the game. It still felt quite close. It still felt like it could go both ways, because I hadn't wounded Treebeard yet, but Treebeard had no might. So it was all very much on, if Treebeard rolls a 6, he wins.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, I've got a good chance of winning. And it was very much to and fro like that throughout like the last couple of turns before that. And to have it all sort of just run away like that and just snuff out anything, and then the game ends as well, so you've got no chance to sort of pull anything back. Really sort of deflates it. But it ended up being a 6-3, so it wasn't as much of a loss as I thought it was going to be. But it really could have mitigated things if I'd been able to get that. But I did get one of my secret missions.
Nice.
Because my secret mission was to get.
I know.
What was it? Coming later, was it?
Yeah.
I did get one of I got Malher killed, and he was one of my more expensive heroes. So that was my secret mission there. To get traitor in the ranks.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
So game 4, Heirlooms of Ages Past. That's my views on Heirlooms of Ages Past.
Don't like it.
It's my least favourite mission in the entire set of missions. I mean, to be fair,
Feel like
Clash by Moonlight, Recon,
I
Heirlooms of
love
Ages Past.
Clash.
I don't know. I was just
That clash.
it's just a lot of the ones that I don't.
I think it just
really
depends on what eye
vibe
you've
with.
got.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
in
the
all
matchup
honesty.
and stuff. Like some of them
Yeah.
are real fun. And
Yeah,
some of them,
and some of them are just terrible.
Anyway, we digress. I'm playing a guy called Adam. Adam had the Return of the King Legend Legion, so Aragorn King, bunch of ghosts.
It's alright as long as I don't get the yellow right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say that. What happened there was they did. It's Belgian deployment. All his dudes came in one place. My dudes came out like all kind of on one far board edge. My two like small crossbow warbands. And then I had like one big, like most of my Corsairs were in one warband. And they ended up, I kept rolling 2s and 1s for him. So they kept like, I was mighting the 2 down to a 1 because he was just going to drop it in behind where all his ghosts were and just murder them. And I was like, I'm not going to bother, might it down. So 1, and then it's, yeah, didn't have a fun time with that. So then they came on, but Dalamir didn't have any might left. So yeah, then he picked up the Relic of the King of the Deads. Then I didn't kill anything with crossbows again. And then
Rubber crossbows.
yeah, so in the last 2 games I killed 1 dude with a crossbow, which has been quite good. Yeah.
Mental.
And I've had like
I don't even know how that is even a thing.
No.
That many strength 4
No.
shots should kill something.
Yeah.
I've played 3 defense 8 lists or defense 7 defense 8 lists. Like,
Even still, weight of dice.
yeah, right. But still,
Eventually you
still
roll 6.
happens,
right?
doesn't it?
It's
Happens.
horrible. Yeah, so you'll go through games and not roll a single one.
Yeah. So, yeah. He came down. I got some traps off on him. I did kill like most of his ghosts. So again, the game ended. It was one of those ones where the game's ended. He's got Aragorn the King and like 2 ghosts left, and I've got. I was broken, but I still had like a fair chunk of a force left. Not a fair chunk, but some. Yeah. But all my heroes were gone because Aragorn was plucking them out. So yeah, it was a bit of a.
Aragorn doing that.
Aragorn doing Aragorn things. Yeah, I got him down to 1 might, 1 fate, and 1 wound by the end of it. But yeah, he was still there,
Yeah.
still going.
Yeah.
Aragorn doing Aragorn things.
Yep.
Don't know why he had a fate left and a wound's gone, but maybe he lost his fate. So he's probably got 1 might and 1 wound left. But yeah. Anyway, Aragorn doing Aragorn things. And then yeah, we were doing a secret mission throughout the thing. I got 2 of them so far. So I got the one where my dude had to kill my captain. That was in that game. I was like, oh, captain's gonna die. Ghost is gonna kill him. That's the fact. And I got the one which is something else. Really good. It was.
Cool.
Oh, I had to wound both of his heroes. That was in the one where it was the dwarves running across the board to me in recon.
Right.
Yeah.
Crossbows, I just pinged off.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Dally, I think Dally did the King's Champion. But yeah,
Fair enough.
cool.
Me.
Yeah.
I did have it in my head, and now it's gone. You put me on the spot. So I played Moria. So we had Moria, goblins, Groblog, load of goblins, Captain, which was the leader, which I found interesting, because it's the same level as
They're all
Groblog.
fortitudes.
Yeah.
So he choose Captain, which was interesting.
you just choose
So I'd
one.
imagine you'd probably caught a few people out by that. I just assumed
Yeah.
Groblog's a leader.
Yeah.
And then you had a Cave Drake, which was fun, because it was Maelstrom. So Girion didn't arrive turn 1, which is fine, because you don't necessarily need it turn 1. And then 1 captain came on, and then the other, I'm going first, which is always bad, deploying Maelstrom. I hate it, because it generally swung the game before it even started. So then, 1 warband came on, and then the other one rolled like a 2, so I had to might it twice, so the captain was at a might to go next to my other warband. But then he knew where I was, and then he rolled like a 6 or a 5 for his, so he plonked 1 warband right next to mine. And then the Cave Drake also got what it wanted, so he then plugged that one next to the other warband, and then just ate those warbands up. But then Girion, he could choose where to put me, north or south. So I was like, yeah, you can choose. So you can either put me with my other lads, so I've now got my banner and I've got Girion around there, or you can chuck me at the top. And then I'm like, I hope he chucks me at the top, because then I've got free reign of like 3 objectives I can go and try. So then I've just got to hope that I get the 6 and uncover the relic. Didn't, but I managed to heroic combat like around the Cave Drake off a random dude onto an objective on the south side where we're all at, and uncovered it on a 6. So at that point it was run away from the Cave Drake. But the Cave Drake can barge in combat, move the d6 inches, and then charge and just barge and keep doing that and catching up, and it moves 8, whereas Dale moved 6. I did screw myself over a little bit though. Girion was at the top still and coming down. I moved across the one turn, and I had my guy with the relic here. If I'd moved Girion like straight towards the relic, I could have heroic moved the relic user away before the cave drake had a chance, and I didn't. I missed it, but that happened. So the cave drake chased down, got the relic, and then once he got the relic, Dale cannot get it off of the cave drake. Like in combat, I just can't. It's not happening. Also, I had a heroic strike roll off again. I rolled a 1, so I was anything but a 1. Anything but a 1. Nope, rolled a 1, and he didn't strike either because he was out of might at that point. So that felt good. I won the tie, but I still didn't wound it and trapped it, and still nothing. So yeah, he won that, and I think that was 10-0, I think, or something really terrible. Because yeah, just didn't break him, didn't do any of the VPs or anything. It was horrible. The cave drake just cleaned house. Really, no answers.
It's annoying when you can't do it.
Yeah, it was just a beast. But yeah, it is what it is. What about you?
Well, I played Christian, and he had dwarfs, which I believe Tom played him already.
A lot of dwarfs.
Yeah,
So
there
many
was a lot.
dwarfs.
There was a lot.
There was a lot of
I was
dwarfs.
envious.
I actually rolled really badly for my guys to come in. I rolled 2s
Yeah, I feel
every
like we all
single
did.
time. So I was using Uglook Scouts again. Sorry, should probably said, because whenever my opponent uses good, if they haven't got another army, I have to do the opposite. So I have to be evil, and there's a lot of good guys for some reason. A lot of good armies.
There is.
So I'm having to use evil a lot, which is not bad. Uglook Scouts is really good at this points value, and being movement 8 really helps them out in this particular scenario as well. But yeah, I rolled 2s for my deployment, which meant my opponent gets to choose where my warbands come on, north or south, and he just basically put all 3 of my warbands all in the same side, all from the same point in the corner. Which meant that all my army was together. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll take that.
Are you
That's
sure?
absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You can split them up. You can have them on different sides of the board. But okay, no, that's fine. I'll be here.
Yeah.
Which is great. And then he promptly rolled a 4, so he got to choose the north or south for his first warband. So he came in from the one side on his table side, and then he rolled a 6 for his other warband, and for some reason chose the far side of the other side of the board for his other warband to come on from there. So rather than keeping his force together, he was on 2 separate sides of the board.
Right.
So I then promptly started running out towards the artifacts, and so did he as quickly as his dwarf legs could catch him. And long story short, I got to the middle objective, rolled for it, was a 6, got the relic, and then from there he did manage some absolutely stellar shooting. It was insane the amount of dice he was rolling and actually hitting and wounding every single time. I think he killed about 10 Urukai with shooting alone in 3 turns. It was mental. The amount of 5s and 6s that were coming out of that man's hands, I honestly thought his dice were cooked.
That's why I killed his bows.
I tried. I had to get there first. Even with
Yeah.
movement 8, it still takes a while. Yeah, so he killed the first relic bearer, which meant then he dropped it, but then meant that Uglook picked it straight back up. And I was happy with that, because then that meant that Uglook could quite happily run away. If anyone got in combat with him, he's a bit of a beast in combat against a regular dwarf, so he can kind of control it a bit more. He did get transfixed once though by the relic. So he was stood there for a while looking at the shinies.
Yeah.
But thankfully enough, he was so far away from anything, nothing could get to him anyway.
Yeah.
And by that point, his bowman had gone into combat with my Urukai, so they were too busy to do anything. And because he'd put them separated and it took so long for the other guys to come across, I basically put my entire army into his one warband, which meant by the time the other force turned up, I'd killed about 90% of his other warband, because it was just chewing through the high armour. But with the Uglook Scout benefit of the +1 to wound when you get both of them in there,
That's good.
I managed to get an opportunity once where Grishnak actually got +2 to wound
Oh.
because of his backstabbers rule.
Nice.
So which is just makes him an absolute beast. He was like, oh, okay, your defense 8, that's cool, so 4s.
I got it off a few
Wow.
times with my Reavers on, on that guy as well.
Yeah.
And against the Army of Death, whereas,
And it's just so good. It's so good when you get it, when it
+2
works.
to wound is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, how many secret missions have you got, Lee?
Only the one.
Just one. How many you got?
I got two.
You got two.
So I got two so far, yeah, because I actually got one in the last game, which was the have 3 guys on a piece of terrain in your opponent's board half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
I
put
got-
that one in the hat. See if
That's the
I
one
can get
I
that
got.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
So you are currently top of us.
2, 2, and 2. So
Yeah.
yeah, I suppose I am. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
2 wins, 2 losses, and 2 things. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 secret missions. Yeah.
Whereas Lee's on,
2, 2, and 1 mission.
and I've won 1, lost 3, and got 2 secret missions. So yeah,
So you're doing well with the secret missions.
Yeah, doing alright with secret missions. Yeah,
Yeah.
but not the actual game.
Mm. Yeah, I suppose that's the
Side
important
game.
part. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But you know, I said before, like one of the things I do want to do this one is get more of the secret missions I got last time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm pretty close already to how many I got last time.
I'm
How many did you get last time?
Just 3.
Oh, 3. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really get it.
Yeah.
I didn't know you couldn't like get them back.
Yeah.
I thought I was like, I'm just gonna use this one every game, and then I was like, oh wait, I can't use it again. Oh okay,
Yeah.
wasted it. But yeah, it's cool. So that's day 1. Going into day 2 tomorrow. The first things up is capturing control, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the ones that you flip the objectives over when you get them and then leave them,
Yeah.
and they're still yours.
Don't like it.
I like that one.
I
got a
actually
move.
I do like that one.
I've got to move. I
Oh,
don't
Well,
yeah.
the thing is that you don't have to stay next to it.
Yeah.
I know, but I've still got to go get
So,
it.
so you don't like it. You don't like it because of your army, not because
Yeah.
of the mission.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say I really like the mission. It's quite good. Like
Oh, I love the mission, yeah.
you often end up with like kind of 2 armies chasing each other around, like
Yeah.
tagging you as they're moving, tagging and moving.
I love
It's
it.
quite
You
fun.
guys will love it as you will love it as Rohan.
Yeah,
Rohan, love
Rohan
that
or
one.
Urukai Scouts.
Yeah.
If I
Either
can
of them
really
really
like them, love it, yeah.
I
fast
might
moving.
just go on strike and just use my good army tomorrow.
Just refuse.
Use my evil army 4 times.
Refuse,
So
yeah.
yeah, we'll see. No, can't do that. That's not how it works. But yeah, it should be. I'd like to use my good army, please.
I've only used my good army once so far today, and okay, it did alright, but yeah, I think I would like to use it at least once.
I tell you
once
what, I'm
more.
fairly glad I didn't bring that Wild Attack Legendary Legion this time though, because that would have got rinsed by somebody's lists.
Yeah.
The dwarfs would have laughed at it.
Yeah.
Well, I played him a couple of times. The last time, it was also just laughed it off.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's this. We'll do another one tomorrow after we finished. I don't know if Liam's going to be in it or not. He
It
might.
depends when you do it, I suppose. 'Cause, I think the event's supposed to finish at like 5:30 tomorrow. So and I don't have a train till like 10 to 7. So
Okay.
if we do want to do it
Depends-
before we go,
Depends how we're feeling.
Yeah.
You never know. Could win like 3. We could all win
Very
all 3 of our
tired.
games and be very excited and be like,
Yeah.
"Whoa."
Yeah.
Buzz in.
Or I could lose all 3 of them.
Yeah,
and
be
it'd
just
be
wanna
really
go
sulky
home.
and want to go home. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like and subscribe and that stuff. And if you want to do some stuff, there's a website that you can go to called cards.co.uk and you can buy some stuff if you want.
I can subscribe.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and join us for tomorrow for this thing.
We're not tired at all.
Thank you. I'm gonna walk all over there now.
Right, I'm
He's
gonna-
gonna
I'm gonna
wave.
keep
all
waving.
over
Bye
it.
guys.
Keep
Keep
waving.
waving.
Keep waving.
See you
Keep waving.
soon.
Keep waving. No, you won't.
Subscribe.